Hi guys, so the Court of Appeal was supposed to rule on the temporary injunction placed upon the Bell Hotel in Epping, the one at the centre of this immigration row. Now the government want to see this appeal go forward. They want to see the injunction overturned so they can continue to house asylum seekers in ex-hotels. And the Tories and Reform through the councils are hoping to see this temporary injunction made permanent so that this will pressure the government to move asylum seekers out of the hotels. So the judgment, it seems, has been postponed to Friday at 2 p.m. at the earliest, or Monday afternoon at the latest. Have a listen.
The 3 judges have said they will rule on whether to overturn that temporary injunction blocking asylum seekers from being housed at the Bell Hotel in Epping tomorrow afternoon. Our correspondent Ashna Honag is following this for us. So Ashna, we're going to get the decision on this tomorrow.
That's right, Kamali. The Lord and Lady Justices of Court 71, there were 3 of them, were hearing arguments both from the Home Office but also from the owners of the Bell Hotel in Epping and from Epping District, Forest District Council themselves. They have now said that those 3 judges will now retire. They'll go into a kind of a decision-making process that will take them, they say, at the earliest they'll report back is 2 p.m. 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon is when they will hear and decide, or hear whether they have decided to overturn that temporary injunction. The temporary injunction that has garnered so much media attention because really the outcomes of it could set a precedent, could really set off this ripple effect, a domino effect for councils right across the country. But look, the hinge of the argument today was all about the owners of the Bell Hotel bringing forward their case, but also the Home Secretary too. The Home Office were trying to say we should have had a say in that initial case that Epping brought last Tuesday in which they had their mammoth victory, which involved the 138 people that are currently being housed at the Bell Hotel in Epping, that they should be moved, that they are going to be moved. As it currently stands, they have to be relocated by the 12th of September at 4 o'clock. But today's events, what we've heard today, is essentially a push for that not to happen, for either that date to be moved, kicked down the line, or for that date to disappear completely. The lives of those 138 men are in limbo at this stage, whilst people decide inside the court behind me, but also the 3 judges essentially at the centre of this, are going to decide whether they're going to accept those submissions from the Home Office.
Okay, so what's going to happen? Well, it's possible that it could go either way. It's very difficult to judge this from the outside because the Home Office have said that they were not consulted properly in the initial injunction. So this could be something they can use against the council. But if the government are successful and this is overturned, then obviously the hotel in Epping will reopen. Asylum seekers will be likely placed in it again, or it's possible that Epping will be ignored and the asylum seekers will be placed somewhere else, but other hotels will remain open, or ex-hotels as I should say. Now, the alternative, of course, would be disastrous for the government, because the alternative would be you're not allowed to use these ex-hotels, especially in the case of Epping. This would open the floodgates, as was mentioned in this report from Sky News. You would have councils run by the Conservatives and Reform, or you would have councils that are where you have a significant number of Reform or Tory councillors in them, would be putting pressure on the council to get the hotels in their area closed, to move the people out of those hotels into some sort of other accommodation, and it would be turned into a political football. Now, this comes at a time when councils' budgets are extremely tight, and of course they need to work with the central government in order to implement government policies, but also to have a good relationship with the central government because they also need funding. They also need the government on their side when it comes to their own policies, their own responsibilities. So this could create a lot of tension between councils and the central government, even if the case is overturned. I don't think we're going to see this go away. Reform and the Tories see an opportunity politically for them to take advantage of this situation. So even if they lose this appeal, it's possible that they will continue to fight. Now, they're using public money to do so. It's not their own money at a time when the budgets are tight and there are cuts to public services. But if it goes in favour of the councils, well, where are these asylum seekers going to go? Because it will open the floodgates. There will be cases all around the UK or all around England and Wales in particular to move asylum seekers out of ex-hotels and into some other form of accommodation. But that other form of accommodation is not very popular, and you're already hearing people on the far right complaining about asylum seekers being placed in rented accommodation too. So this issue is not going to go away, even if the government is successful in overturning this. Now, it's possible that the judges may add a few caveats, say, look, we're not going to close the hotels, we're going to allow you to continue to place asylum seekers in them, but you must speed up the process of closing these hotels. So this is a possible outcome. This is where I'm probably going with. I think the government will be successful in overturning this, but it's more likely that the judges will add a number of conditions. Something like you need to reduce the number before the next election, long before the next election. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and perhaps today we will see the results.